Hi, I'm Nick Davies. We're here with another episode of Festival Forum, and I'm very pleased to have the cast and the director of the Bronx Bowl here to talk about the film. I have the director here, Martin Gigi, Mojan Arya, who plays a young Jake in the film, and of course the one and only Jake LaMotta. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Spell my name right.
I will, I promise. So why don't we delve right into it? Martin, tell me a little bit about how this project came about. What was your inspiration for it? And
Sure, we were approached by an old friend of mine named Joe Allegro, whose father, Joe Allegro Sr., knew Jake, and had been friends with Jake for many years. And this was back in like 2005, 2006. And the general public may not know that Jake had written a book and has been working on trying to get this movie made since the 80s. And he wrote a book with Sharon McGahee and Chris Anderson. So they wanted me to adapt this book into a screenplay. The guys that called me, Joe Allegro and his dad, I had gone to film school with Joe Allegro Jr. And that's where the whole process began. We thought, wow, what an interesting idea to actually go into, Jake's past. And of course, Jake's, after the fights and sort of look into where the rage came from. Mm-hmm. And so I became very passionate about it. Rustin Brannaman wrote the first draft of the screenplay. I wrote the second version of the screenplay, and here we are.
Excellent. So Mojan, you play young Jake in the film.
Yes, sir.
And I understand you went through quite a bit of physical training for the role. Mm-hmm. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
When I signed on to the film, I practically had lied about my boxing training. And I thought I'd done some good boxing training, but I had to gain about 10 or 12 pounds of muscle. And then I started training about 10 hours a day with Freddie Roach at Wild Card. I got to, hang out with Manny Pacquiao and Eric Brown and New York boxing trainer Steve Fleming, and I did rounds with world champion boxers. I had a couple fights, a couple of actually sanctioned amateur fights, and I sparred maybe 500 rounds, and I gained a whole bunch of muscle. So yeah, and he still knocked me out last night at dinner with the left hook. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little afraid too. I definitely don't want to get. Yes,
you should be very afraid.
So tell me, how much had you known about the story of Jake before you'd taken on the role? Did you have any? I'm sure you've seen past films about him and.
Right. Well, I was well aware of the classic film that was made about him, and I was a die-hard boxing fan. I mean, I knew him as the first man to beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Many people regard as the greatest boxer of all time, including Jake.
You wasn't around for the first Sugar Ray Robinson fight, because that's a long time ago.
I was around in your spirit.
Jake, were you happy with Mojan's performance in the film?
I'm completely satisfied because everything's going along great. I have no problem. Anybody bothers you, let me know, and I'll call Mike Tyson.
Right. So there you go.
Excellent. So Martin, you have a background in music, I heard, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because you studied music and film. Is that correct in school?
I did, yeah. I grew up in a musical family, and my dad being a conductor, so I kind of had no choice.
Uh-huh.
It was it's a curse in the gene in a good way.
So, can you talk a little bit about how that translates into film for you? What, if anything, how does that help your artistic process in directing and editing and things like that?
Well, music tells a story. Every song tells a story. Every symphony tells a story. It has an arc, has a beginning, middle, and end. As do the lyrics tell a story. And the ultimate success of any art form is in the emotion of how that story is told. So in filmmaking, it's very similar. There's a 3-arc story, and the lyrics are the script, mm-hmm. and ultimately the actors bring their emotion to the lens. And so it's the translation of emotion was my approach as a going from music to film as a director. That made it easy, just knowing that every scene has to have an emotive feeling to it.
And how did you utilize music for your film in that respect?
Well, we were fortunate enough to have Chet Tolliver do the score, and he took an old school approach to the film. He gave it, an orchestral, traditional type of score. Some people it gives you the sense, it gives you a New York feeling because it is a New York story, and we're really, really blessed. We had a great team, on this movie, a wonderful team. I mean, even after I finished the script, you still need that angel who's going to believe in the script, and that was Craig Chang and his team at Main Street Films, who believed enough in the film to give it a shot. Mark Bishop and the rest of the team over there, great team. And then you surround yourself by hopefully, the best that you can possibly find at the time, and that's what we did. We found a great cast and a great team behind the camera too. As a director, you're only as good as everybody else. I know how to stay out of the way as a director. Let everybody do their thing.
What was it like working with Mojan?
Mojan is an extremely instinctual actor. He did his homework. He really, really studied. He got into boxing, and he really studied it from the inside out. He spent time with Jake. He did a lot of research, old school style, a la Marlon Brando. Who are some of your other favorite actors? Montgomery Clift. Well, there you go.
Good choice.
So it was easy. It was a blast, man. It was such a good time. We didn't want this to end when it did. That's how much we enjoyed it. And he always brought a great sensibility of being open to all possibilities, which is ultimately makes great art.
Excellent. So Mojan, tell me about working with Martin and his creative process as an actor. How did that work for you?
Well, Martin is very encouraging, very positive. And he just said it himself, which I completely agree with. He certainly knows how to stay out of the way, and he has a great energy. He makes, especially in a movie like this, obviously it comes with a bit of stress, it comes with a bit of pressure, and Martin was just always smiling and happy and full of life and love, which it makes you want to bat for a director like that. It makes you want to do your best, because you feel like you got someone who loves you.
Tell me a little bit about this particular.
I love you.
Oh,
No, sorry.
no, that's
Sorry.
okay.
I love you. And you.
We like love here at the festival. We're big on love. Tell me a little bit about this particular story with Jake, because I know I've heard there's different stories, different periods of his life, and this film in particular focuses on a particular part of his life. So could you elaborate a little bit more?
Absolutely.
On that?
The film focuses on the genesis of Jake's career, like where his boxing was really born. We visit with his family in the Bronx in the 1930s, and we learn the effect that his childhood had on Jake as a person and as a boxer and as a human being. We spent time in the 1930s in the Bronx. We get to know who his father was. Spent time learning how to box and how that happens. I don't want to give it away. It's a compelling, powerful childhood that Jake had, and he had to overcome adversity at a very young age, where most people would have given up. He never gave up, which is really the theme of this story. It's the triumph of never giving up against all odds. We sort of skip his career, and then the movie, not unlike the book, it reflects the book, which is we spent time at the Senate Judiciary hearings with Jake, and when he was being investigated, and then we jump right into after his fights and his relationships and his relationship with his daughter, redemption with his father, all the conflicts that he sort of resolved. It's the taming of the bull, and finding inner peace. And so we spent a lot of time with his relationships with some characters in New York that he had to deal with. again, you know, he never really, he always paved his own road. And we're so blessed and honored, and it's been such a, you know, you've been so gracious, Jake, to allow us to tell your story. When I first met with Jake.
Gracious.
You're gracious.
I just wanted to know that. Okay, go ahead.
And again, you know, to have Jake on the set working with us and to have his presence elevated everybody's game. And his story is continuing. I mean, he's here to see a second film about his life, which is miraculous. It's amazing. You know, Jake's story is amazing. There's probably a third film, right?
Do you want to do a third film, Jake?
One of my third film.
Do you want to do a third one, Jake?
Where?
Do one about you in the future.
In the future. Look, you can go more beyond two. Two's enough.
Two's enough. That's the
enough?
theme of this show. Two's enough.
2 is enough.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first, folks. Two's enough.
Absolutely. So Marjan, you got to work with Jake, got to know him. Give me your impressions of him.
I will honestly say that I have never read or seen or met anyone who has more will. And when Martin said that the theme of this film was never giving up, I mean, we're talking about a guy who, I mean, I feel uncomfortable speaking about this in front of Jake, but about a guy who grew up in the Depression, who had thousands of street fights, you know, before he was ever pro, who grew up with a very difficult father, who, I mean, this is a man who he could have set his mind to become anything if he wanted to. And he fought anyone. He never gave up, and his boxing style is very reminiscent of the kind of person he is. And I mean, he is the symbol and the living presence of the word champion. And that's it.
I think that's very appropriate. Jake, tell me about how do you feel being here at the Newport Beach Film Festival?
How do I feel?
Yes.
My fingers.
You feel with your fingers? Very good. I do too, actually. Is it an honor to be here at Newport Beach Film Festival?
Oh, yes. To think it's my second film. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Could it be a third?
You never know.
You never know.
This is the third.
This is the third right now.
Oh, this is the third. Right.
They're finally letting you play you, Jake.
Imagine that.
Do you have any really fond memories on set being a part of this film? Anything in particular that
What kind
you
of
want to share?
memories you have to be a part of something that was never done before in the history of the sport? Never done before. Second movie, 2 movies. I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
Doesn't get much better than this, does it?
You never know. You never know what could happen in this world.
Martin, any closing thoughts on this film? The message you touched on the message of the film earlier, but just anything else that you'd want to add that really, I think, sets this film apart from anything else, any other stories that have been told about Jake?
Well, this sets the record straight in terms of who Jake was and why he was who he was and why he is who he is. It's all based on a true story. There is no creative license, and that was the goal, was to make an honest film. And we believe we made an honest film and told the truth about who Jake LaMotta is, who he was and who he is. And we feel blessed that we had an opportunity. Look, anytime a movie gets made, it's a miracle, you know, and especially this one, a film that took so long to make, you know, almost 7-8 years to make, and a film with controversy attached to it, and one that so many people didn't want to touch in order to protect themselves and, or, you know, for whatever reason. It was a challenging project.
What was the most challenging aspect, would you say, of this project, of making this film?
I think the most challenging aspect of this particular movie was the amount of expectation that was put on it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into it just really excited. First of all, anytime you get to make a film, and you're a filmmaker and you're an actor or an actress or a producer, that's why I jump out of bed. That's why we all jump out of bed. But we went into it just with a little bit more of let's just call it a heightened sensitivity, and that was a good thing. I'm proud of it. I believe everybody rose to the occasion, and there's a time for everything. So the timing was perfect, and we were all blessed. We're blessed that you're here with us to see this movie today.
I'm
Jake.
blessed to be here.
Right on.
Excellent. Well, Mojan, any closing thoughts about the film, your experience, what you've taken away from this?
Oh, I mean, I've taken away so much. I mean, this was my first film in America, and definitely my first film as an adult as well. So, working with all the terrific expert actors that Martine cast, and I mean, it's very rare that you ever read about a person like this or hear about a person like this, let alone being able to investigate a person like this from the inside out was a true honor for me. So that's it. And I hope you guys enjoy seeing Jake's story from Jake's perspective.
Absolutely. We're honored to have you here. Okay, so we're going to cut to the trailer for the film.
You hit him first, and you hit him harder. But you don't go down.
I'm gonna be pro. What, you wanna sit in there and get your face pounded out and pro? Are you kidding me? It's a sucker's game, Jake.
You killed him.
I look at you. You know what I see? A worthless life. You're gonna fight all these boys and the guards till they kill you? Have you ever thought about putting on the gloves and learning how to really fight? Boxing. I could teach you everything I know, boy. Now I'm gonna teach you how to really throw that left.
Anyway, keep the challenger off balance. Jake is out for number 70. It's definitely a lot of night.
You think that old bum? You are the middleweight champ of the world.
I was offered $100,000 to lose to Billy Fox. I said no.
We both want a deal here, Jake.
And what deal is that?
We got unfinished business.
You really ain't got no choice.
You're gonna take this car and this gun. You're gonna go. One in the head. One in the heart.
I'm Tom Sizemore, and I'm in the movie The Bronx Bull, and I'm having a lovely time here at the Newport Beach Film Festival. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the director, the cast, and Jake LaMotta for being here for Bronx Bull. It's a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much. Jake, it's truly an honor to meet a legend. It really is. Thank you.
Thank you. You make me feel very happy. I can't understand how I could do something like this. I never dreamed about it. I think they had 2 pictures made of you in one lifetime. God bless you, God bless everybody that's involved with the movie, and thank you very much for inviting me.
92 years old. 92.
It's incredible. Thanks so much, and here's what you missed today at the festival.
We're here on the red carpet for the premiere of Jackie and Ryan, joined by Katherine Heigl. Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that this film takes place in Utah. Is that correct?
It does.
Fantastic. And I know that you have a personal connection there. Did that make it any more personal or easy to film in that setting?
You know, originally I think we were going to be filming in Atlanta, but I couldn't leave my kids for the length of the film, and it's a small movie and a small budget, so there was no way to bring my whole family to Atlanta. So Amy very graciously switched the location to Utah so I could still be home with my kids. And I was so grateful and so excited until I realized that 90% of the movie is outside, and it was January in Utah, and it was cold, so cold, but it was beautiful. And I think it gave the movie such a sort of magical quality that I love Utah so much because of how beautiful and peaceful and grounded a place it is, but you get to really see that in this movie. The landscapes and the cinematography is just gorgeous.
That sounds amazing. I'm definitely excited to see the visuals. Katie, thank you so much for stopping by.
Hi, this is Katherine Heigl, and you are watching Newport Beach TV.
We're here on the red carpet for the premiere of Jackie and Ryan, joined by Ben Barnes. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, I heard that you had to learn to play guitar for this role. Can you tell me a little bit about how long it took you to learn and who you worked with?
It was a little bit of doing as much as we could get away with in the time, because I hadn't really picked up a guitar before. My dad plays guitar, so there was always guitars around my house, but I'd never learned how to play it at all. And so I was slightly ambivalent about getting away with being the sort of accomplished level of musician that actually Nick Hands, who the character is loosely based on, is a very lovely, profound gentleman who lives in New Orleans and is a street musician. And so he helped me a lot. I had a fabulous teacher in Los Angeles who I went to for about 3 months, and I went sort of most days for about 3 months and just drove everyone in my household absolutely nuts by just literally I would be doing these exercises whilst I was watching TV. I'd be doing these exercises whilst trying to eat. I just had it. I was glued to this little parlor guitar for about 3 months before.
Oh my gosh! Well, that sounds like an amazing feat to accomplish in 3 months.
It was actually a lovely feeling though to get on a set and feel not panicked about what I now do.
Capable.
Right.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Hi, I'm Ben Barnes, and you're watching Newport Beach TV.
We're here on the red carpet for the premiere of Miss India America, joined by Hannah Simone. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's my first time in Newport.
Is it really?
Yeah, everybody's been really lovely, very welcoming.
Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Did you literally just arrive, or have you been here for a couple days?
No, I literally just
arrived.
From Seattle, actually. I was doing a charity event with Free the Children and caught a flight, and now I'm here.
Oh my gosh, well, welcome. We're glad you made it. We're very excited about tonight's film. Can you tell us a little bit about your role?
Sure. I play a character called Sonia Nielsen, and she is the stiffest competition for our lead character, who's just right over there, Tia Sakar, Lily Prasad.
Mm-hmm. In this whole India America pageant world, right? I'm so intrigued by this. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I've actually never been in a pageant or been to a pageant, so it's an odd thing to have your first experience be filmed and then shown for thousands of people. So you're going to see how well I do in a pageant. You can judge me openly. It's fine.
No worries.
Yeah,
I'm
no
sure.
worries.
Sure, it's fine. Sure, it's fine. And now, how do you feel about being in Newport Beach tonight for the film festival, for the film premiere?
I'm excited. It feels like this city really supports great art. The fact that they've welcomed us and are sharing and showing our film it feels great. Hey, I'm Hannah Simone of Miss India America and New Girl, and you are watching Newport Beach TV.
We're here at the after party at the Newport Beach Film Festival at Room and Board. We're very excited for tonight's festivities. There's going to be a lot of entertainment, drinks, fun. We'll keep you posted on all the highlights.
what a knockout interview. That was so exciting. I can't believe I actually got to shake Jake LaMotta's hand. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an amazing program. We invite you to come back frequently, check out all the updates on the parties and the festivities that are happening this week at the film festival. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Visit Newport Beach, for the show. And I'm your host, Nick Davies, and I'll see you next time.